Happy Tuesday, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode. And I know some of you are still disappointed on the back of that defeat that Jamaica faced against the Guatemala team last evening. Now, I know it is a hard one to take, especially on the back of a 3-0 thrashing that the Jamaican team put on at the National Stadium in Kingston. But I hate to say it, I told you so. All right, let's get to it. In this episode, we're going to do the player ratings. There are a couple of names coming into this one that we were expecting big things from: the Demarai Gray, the Ronaldo Cephas, the Warner Browns of this world. I'm going to go into that and a whole lot more as this video continues. But before we even go any further, remember, smash the like button and subscribe to Halftime TV if you haven't yet done so. Last evening was Jamaica's first game in the 2025 Gold Cup. We played Guatemala. Prior to Jamaica playing, we saw Panama against Guadeloupe, and those will be our opponents in the next couple of days / week. Guatemala is the next Guadeloupe, is the next game that Jamaica will play, having lost to Guatemala. And if you're a football fan, you know what I mean when I say Jamaica got a Bob Marley from Guatemala, and I know this one stings more than any other defeat that we've gotten in recent months. So, who are the players that stood out? Who are the players that didn't give us anything whatsoever? And who are the players that possibly should be on the bench for the next game? Let's get straight into that. Andre Blake, I think he didn't have much to do for most of the game. When he did have something to do, he came up good. I think there was a diving header that he got down quickly to push around the post. A couple of other routine stops that you would expect him to make. On the goal, I don't think there is much that he could have done. And as such, I'm going to give Andre Blake a 6.5 out of 10. As I said, didn't have much to do. The mere fact that he didn't keep a clean sheet, that's why I'm giving him that rating. Nothing he could do, in my opinion, on the goal. Right back. And the right back part is a bit tricky, you know. Yeah, the right back part is a bit tricky. You know why? Because Jamaica actually started with one right back and finished with another one. All right, so let's talk about the centre halves first. Yeah, I think we should talk about the centre halves. Ethan Pinnock. I'm gonna give Ethan Pinnock a 5 out of 10. I think the ball that came over for the goal, he misread it, and as such it resulted in the goal. We haven't seen him play for Jamaica in the last couple of months, and as one fan said, choosing the games that he played and picking and choosing and coming in when he feels like, that shouldn't be something that we take lightly. But regardless, throughout the game, I think he had some surging passes, he had some good passes over the top, and overall, his defensive ability was never in question. It's just the pairing on the day. So I'm going to give Ethan Pinnock 5.5 out of 10. I think I just said 5, but I'm going to upgrade it to 5.5. Okay. Next to Ethan Pinnock, Richard King. For the first half that he played, I'm going to give him 6. I won't go too much into Richard King's performance. He was subbed at halftime. In left back, we had Amari Bell. I'm going to give him a 6 as well. I think Oscar Santos had the ringer around him for the entire game. He struggled in a number of situations. In the end, I just wanted a bit more urgency from Amari Bell. I know he's not the type of winger that would be marauding down the flank for full 90 minutes, but I just wanted more from Amari Bell. On the right-hand side, Joel Latibodiere, I think the first half in right back, he was good. And then he went into midfield in the second half. I'm going to give Joel Latibodiere a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for Latibodiere. Good first half in that right back position. Then when he was asked to go into midfield, he gave a good showing as well. Is he the solution to our midfield problems? Maybe not. But the job that he did last night earned him a 7 out of 10 rating from Halftime TV. Next up, we have John Russell. I think he hustled, got himself around the park. He was everywhere. A few fouls that I think were unnecessary, but again, considering Jamaica was chasing the ball for a lot of the game, I think that little bit of physicality, it helped the Jamaican team and it kind of threw the Guatemala team off their perch a little bit, kind of got them a little bit ruffled. They got their feathers a little bit ruffled. So John Russell, I'm gonna give him 6 as well. Yeah, I think 6 is fair enough for John Russell. So 6 as well for John Russell. Uh, who else do we have? So in midfield, next to John Russell, we had Damian Lowe starting. And one of my concerns with Damian Lowe starting in midfield is a lot of the times he's too eager to get the ball. Some of the times you just have to put yourself in a position where even if you don't get the ball, you cut the spaces and you cut off the channels that would facilitate other passes. Damian Lowe didn't give us that. And we could see that he's not an out and out midfielder. We saw him in the game against Canada a couple of years ago where he stepped up in midfield and basically changed the dynamic of the game. We saw him against the British Virgin Islands as well a couple of days ago. But the game against British Virgin Islands, different opposition, weaker opposition. And in a midfield where there are players who know what they're doing, Damian Lowe was always going to struggle. And as a result, based on all of that, him getting an early yellow card, him struggling to basically get on the ball, and as a result, some crazy fouls that weren't necessary when he got onto the ball. He didn't know what to do with it, and most times he was just passing it back to the defenders. I'm going to give Damian Lowe a 3 out of 10 for his performance last night. I think he should be kept as far away from Jamaica's midfield as possible going forward. So Damian Lowe, 3 out of 10. John Russell, 6 out of 10. For the attackers, we have Leon Bailey on the right-hand side. I think he was trying, he was probing, but the mere fact that the Guatemala team cut off all the channels, he had to be constantly coming on the inside. His magic was non-existent, didn't get too much of a look in, and whether it's due to Guatemala's discipline setup or Leon Bailey's inability to find the solution. We know talented players find solutions. Leon Bailey didn't find a solution last night. And as such, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I think he tried. Nothing was there for the taking. Demari Gray on the number 10 position. I think he got a 5 out of 10 as well. One of the more forgettable games, one of the games that I'd want to forget, or he'd want to forget as well in the Reggae Boys colors. Ronaldo Cephas playing off the left, and what one of the subscribers commented and said, "Halftime TV, you must be blind, you need glasses. You don't see they were double teaming him and they were doing all of that and all of that." Yes, fine, but Ronaldo Cephas, he's at the stage right now where he's smart enough, he's quick enough, and he should be competent enough to get by defenders, especially with the pace that he has. And I know that we didn't have any midfielders putting those passes in, but even if the midfielders aren't stringing the passes down the channel, Ronaldo Cephas, whenever he got the ball, he was almost waiting on the defenders to come in so he could leave them standing. No. So decision making, again, very poor Ronaldo Cephas last night. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I think in the grand scheme of things, based on what we saw from Ronaldo Cephas in the last 5 games or last 4 games, he was excellent for maybe the first 2 or the first 3, and then the quality dipped in the previous game, which was the Guatemala game at the National Stadium, and then the quality in this game again dipped. So Ronaldo Cephas, I know we lobbied for you to get a place in the Jamaican national team, but we will also lobby for you to be removed from the team. So unless you get your level back up, and unless you maintain that level of consistency, then I'm sorry, but we're very well gonna need to put Demari Gray back out on that left flank and get our number 10 in there, whether it's Bobby Reed or whomever. Casey Palmer, get somebody in that number 10 position and get you out of the team. So Cephas, work on that decision making. Again, as we've always been saying, decision making has been your problem. It was no different last night. And even when there were situations, as I said, when you were double teamed, there were still opportunities there for you to go down the flank. As we saw in the first half, where there were bright moments from Cephas in the first half, especially on the 23rd, 24th minute, I want to say, went down to the line, got it back to the penalty spot. I think John Russell was running in on there, missed it, and we failed to capitalize on that opportunity. So Cephas, work on it, bro. Work on it. In the number 9, Warner Brown, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 as well. I think there wasn't any service for him last night. We didn't see anything that we saw against the Guatemala team at the National Stadium. One of his quieter games since he started playing for the Jamaican national team. I don't remember a distinct moment from Warner Brown where I said, okay, that was brilliant, or he created a good opportunity. No, I couldn't see any of that from Warner Brown. So I think overall, like the average rating, as you can hear, 5-6-ish thereabout. Jamaica's highest rated player on the evening, in my opinion, was Joel Latibodiere, and that's because he played in multiple positions and he did well in both of those positions. I need to mention Dexter Lembikisa as well, because Dexter Lembikisa came from the bench in the second half. And I know usually we don't give ratings for players who are coming off the bench, but I'm going to give Dexter Lembikisa a rating. I'm going to give him a 7 as well. So he and Joel Latibodiere, Jamaica's best players on the night, although Dexter Lembikisa only played 45 minutes. I think when he came onto the pitch, he looked bright. He was positive going forward. He created a number of opportunities, and that's what the Jamaican team was missing. Those overlapping runs, creating space for Leon Bailey, going beyond him and giving him an option to basically pass it out wide or cut inside on that left foot of his. That was what the team was missing. And as such, Dexter Lembikisa, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 as well. So finally, I know we did the players. A couple other substitutes came on. We won't rate those. Good to see Mikel Antonio back though. So big up yourself, Antonio. We won't rate all the players that came from the bench because some of them didn't get enough time to actually get a rating, put it that way. But Steve McLaren, Coach Steve McLaren, I'm going to give him a rating as well. And I think, same as Damian Lowe, Steve McLaren should receive a 3 out of 10 for his decision making in this game, because ultimately, in my opinion, that was what cost the Reggae Boys this victory. Cost us the victory. Jamaica could have very well gone out there and won this game. I won't say comfortably, but we could have won this game had it not been for the poor decision making from Steve McLaren from the beginning. Both of them were in the press conference. They came out, they spoke well, and we were optimistic as Reggae Boys fans. Both of them are going to be in the base of our ratings here on Halftime TV as well. So Steve McLaren, 3 out of 10. Damian Lowe, 3 out of 10. Jamaica's lowest rated players / coach. Jamaica's lowest rated team members on the night. But let's hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say. Who was your player of the match in this defeat, and who were the worst players on the Jamaican team? Let's hear your ratings down below this video. Coach Steve McLaren, come on, you need to work on it. You have all this talent at your disposal, and we're still not seeing, or I won't say we're still not seeing. We didn't see what you did with it last night. The Guatemala coach, we could see that he is a coach and he has left his identity on the team, and they went out there and they played Jamaica off the park, if we're to be frank. Steve McLaren didn't do anything. We went down 1-0. The reactions were a bit too late. We saw the adjusting of the system or the formation gave us a little bit of joy, but in the end we were still bypassing midfield. It was all these long balls to the corners or over the top, hoping to catch a compact Guatemala team off guard. That didn't happen. So going into the next game, Steve McLaren, you need to work on it. You need to fix it. I know the next game will be weaker opposition, but still, you need to work on it, because we cannot continue down this trajectory, or else we won't make it through to the next round of this 2025 World Cup. Again, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers, share your thoughts below this video. What were your ratings of the Jamaican players from their 1-0 defeat against Guatemala? Let's hear it. Until next time.